Fire, what you saying?
Yes, Autarchii, life is the greatest.
We are here again, Ballhead and the Dread with the Iries. And I want to say give thanks for everyone been tuning in, supporting the thing. Love the comments, whether true or foolishness. As long as right, as long as you're listening, we appreciate it. Tell you the truth. Couple of announcements for the week. Do remember, save the date, June 25th, Chant Down, Baltimore. Freddie McGregor will be there live alongside with my partner, Peter One, Autarchii. Also, check out the Breakdown EP Blazing thing called Disrupting the Status Quo there in the description. Also, letting the people know Generation Gap Rhythm coming March officially, right? Red Music, The Dread, Autarchii, and myself came together to bring some roots rock reggae music to the people. So look out for that in March. Fire, what we're reasoning about today?
Then let go systematic oppression, but it's a systematic oppression in the sense of talking about asset and the particular asset we are talking about home ownership and how the system, the equity firm, them basically control everything and really have force the people them in a staying in a rent environment as opposed to a home ownership. So it's a topic where affect a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. No joke.
Now I want to say reality means fire. So for a while now, anybody who pays attention in any form like economic news or business, I say it's about 2019. People started mentioning certain equity firms like BlackRock, Vanguard, and all these just buying up homes, right? They're not buying up all the homes. I want to make it clear it's not a conspiracy there. I'm not saying they're buying up all the homes in America, fire, but they're buying specific homes, particularly in inner city neighborhoods or low income areas. They're not really focusing on your $500,000 home, your $700,000, your $1 million home. This creates a very big problem. And if you are a member of, I know some people say middle class don't exist, but for the point of the reason that we would say middle class does exist, if you're a member of the or in that economic range of what they identify as middle class or lower class, you definitely should be terrified. Because what's happening is now is that home prices, these companies that are purchasing the homes due to the low interest rate that they have a lower interest rate than the common man, right? So I think now we're at 3-4%. They're probably all at 1%. So these people out there bidding all that's a cold world we live in. Fire. These people out there bidding all 20 to 50% more for home prices. So they're securing the homes, right? Manipulating the market. Obviously, anyone that has looked at a home recently knows, or is in a home or has a mortgage knows that the price of their home has went up dramatically over the last 2 years. Some people saying 15%, some people saying up to 30%. This creates a very big problem. Homes were not affordable, but now they're really not affordable to the working class, the middle class, and these people are going to have to default to rent. Now, people say, what's the issue with rent, right? There is no issue with rent depending on your situation, how you approach it. But the issue is renting, that is. But the issue is the economic standpoint and the fact that rent is unaffordable already and it will continue to rise. And if you have nowhere else to live, no other place to reside, you are forced to pay these crazy rents. Because rent, what I know about finances, rent shouldn't be more than 30% of your income. All right. So anybody listening right now, if rent exceeds 30% of your income, you're paying too much for rent. All right. You have to get under that to be an affordable standpoint. But who can really do it in all reality based on your income, based on inflation, and based on the prices of rent, And this it's going to affect Black people, Latino people more than whites. But in this instance, compared to the 1960s, it's a class thing, fire. They come like they done with the race thing on this one. They just dealing with class thing, and they really putting the people in a tight bind. And it's a shame because incomes are not increasing. That's the thing. Things are getting pricier, food and all other items that we use, but people not making more money. So it's like, I guess we're gonna be. I'm telling you, they always talk about the 1%. So I guess the 99% Americans will be renting, and corporations will be a landlord.
Any form of systematic oppression like that, especially when it have to do with home ownership, I still a race thing, but it's just that them willing for sacrifice. A lot of them own for ensure say them get the goal where them want. And then they make up a brilliant statement about the rent part, and we need to clarify that too, because There is everything is wrong with rent when you think about it, fire. Because if you are think about building things for the generation to come, which me think everybody's supposed to have that as a priority. No person on earth supposed to have children and not try to set a foundation for them children. You can't set a foundation for your children while living in a landlord place where landlord do every single thing. What are you going to pass on? So when I say it's a phase where you have to go through, to make sure so you can reach towards the level of become a home owner. But if you stuck in a putting as well there is more than 30% of your income in rent, how we are actually jump out of the rabbit hole there for save enough money for the down payment? Essentially you're not gonna reach it, because all you have to do a batter and a fight for reach that. And then you have to remember, say, this thing is really a trap too, because these equity firms somehow it's like them have a deal somehow with all these loan company too, because the way all them loan company are set the whole thing for trapping at the mortgage thing at the same time. It's like it's a far-fetched thing. Even when them come and tell about the FHA loan, it's a far-fetched thing, it not really is designed for you to jump into this, because there's so much trap to it in regards to the mortgage insurance and all of these things, where it catch you in a way where it's not really feasible if you think about it. But we are talking about the first step, so we're not talking about the barrier there where you have to climb and reach up yourself. We're talking about the fact that you can't reach it at all. Because imagine fire, if them tell you say a house price with a FHA loan is, you can find what 3.5%? Yeah, something like that. It say you can find 3.5%. And you qualified for start search for your home, because once you qualified for this thing. And you can't even find 3.5% of a home price for you. You know how detrimental that is, that you can't find 3.5% when they make it seem like there's every single opportunity for you for advance. But if you can't find that, you know how crazy that is, plus on the top, and that you apply a rent where more than likely double the mortgage where you would have paid, and the mortgage already is a trap, and you can't pay the rent itself. And then for find money for save on top of that, it's like, for majority of people, it's unrealistic. And if you talk to the average person, them start to think say home ownership is a far-fetched thing. And because them think it's a far-fetched thing, here them start to know. Them start lying to themselves and tell themselves, oh, owning a home is too much things. It's better to rent. Because them are pretty short term, just because them get what would I call it now? It's like them get broken hearted. You know what I say? Buy what them say are going.
I just want to add something. I just want to add two parts to the thing, right? One, home ownership isn't for every American citizen, right? So if you're a person that's like, you're working or you have numerous forms of income and you're actually strategic and saving, I would say yes, right? You can rent. Reason being is that I'm pretty sure you're making the rent, and it's just like, it's not an issue at that point. For an undisciplined person that only has one form of income, even though when you pay a mortgage, it's like, you get a $300,000 home. By the time you pay it off, you probably pay the bank back anywhere from $550 to $600,000. It's not necessarily an investment in the point that you're making money, coupled with maintenance of the house and other things that come with home ownership, responsibility. But the thing is, because you're not responsible, at least you have the equity there. You get what I'm saying? Compared to the rent where you paid $400,000 in rent over a certain amount of years and you have nothing. Yes, you paid more than what the assets you have, but you have something there. You have something there that you can use or borrow against. So you have some form of equity, some form of asset. Now, in regards to the reality of people getting a down payment, it's very true. The average American is broke. Like, majority of Americans are broke. And I think it gets very deceptive sometimes when people drive particular cars or wear certain clothes. Everybody's confused because people think they're doing good financially, but that's just not the case at all. There's a thing called credit, right? And there's a thing called overextending yourself. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people do. And they're very good at it. And they're very good at deception, but that deception leads to confusion in a lot of people. And they just feel people are doing well. And it's just not the realistic part of the thing. You have to be very disciplined. You have to sacrifice a lot for an average person on an average job to actually save, like really, really sacrifice. And if not, you would have to sacrifice and have another form of income. You have to have numerous form of incomes. Respect to my Jamaicans, not all, but a lot, especially the previous generation. And my Jewish brethren too. But I got an example from them where this money need to come from north, west, east, and south nonstop fire. Because things are very expensive out there, because the money kind of slow over there, this money coming in. So it's like you're always up, because at some point I have an experience where everything was going bad. You get what I'm saying? Things are up and down, and sometimes it's sweet when everything's going good and you get a nice rush of money, but it's not for you to spend it and show off and try to impress people or whatever you're trying to do, but to use that to build up yourself. So this housing thing has been it's American dream, fire. It's American dream. They did try to help with the GI Bill and certain things previously, helping out white Americans with all these incentives. But it seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like I don't know, it seemed like the thing drying up on their side, to tell you the truth, in regards to government aid and certain things. And it really seems that right now, for you to go get it more, first of all, any house you get in these times, you're gonna be paying over the value of the house. All right, that's just the reality in which we're in, and our home price is going to increase even more. Who knows? It may be a situation where you step into a house now paying 20% over. You may be influenced by the news, thinking that your house is going to shoot up another 70%, or you may be in a situation where you're under on your mortgage and you're just paying more for an asset that has lower value. So very tricky out there. But the thing I want to emphasize is that these people not playing around. So. You got to tone down on your spending, and also people need numerous forms of income, whether you're renting, whether you're trying to get a house, because the way the thing's set right now is that you can't afford rent on one income on the basic, because the average salary about 54 grand, right? 54 grand. If you take out taxes, 54, that's 10.8. It's like 16 grand they're going to take out for taxes.
Yeah, 16 to 20.
So what that leave you with? 38 grand divided by 12, fire. And and most people not even getting that fire. We just saying the average if you're getting that. So most people not even at a 54 right now. So I just don't see how that's gonna work.
On top of that, them have $1 million and one expenses already outside of that. America is a place where I just bills, and they say you have to know how run in America, because this bills thing is not a joke thing, And you see, what most people don't understand, all right. So when these equity firms now, so when them buy up all of these properties, them know one thing for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people who have the mindset for be a home owner understand this. The price of house, me never from me born, I never say the price of house drop it. Like me personally never say the price of house drop it unless it's in a deplorable area or the house run down or something like that. But me never say the price of house drop it. So even if, say example, I said the house raised by 20%, the price of the house, and you buy this now, if you realize that you have to pay a mortgage now and don't wash your face, it's gonna be something where it have to increase, So this 20% where you did pay, where you did this is overpriced, it always have to increase at the full of the day. There's always profit for make back from this thing, regardless of the timing. Because even at Brooklyn recently, you see in a certain place like Bed-Stuy and all of these places, in a 2007, 2006, 2007, around sometime with them did have the whole crisis where that take place. I think it was 2008, when I'm mistaken. People did complain about all of these prices for the properties then. At that time, the property them was like 350 in Brooklyn, and this place is 300,000. The brownstone houses them nowhere have this big boom in New York. No, you can't get one of them houses underneath $1 million. You can't get one of that underneath 1 million. So you see the same people them who did even complain at that time, all of them benefit now by even $1 million that exceed them whole profit itself by even 200% or something like that. But just to show you, I said that for sure, say you have a thing where you have to make the time where you're in, And you have to understand the long-term vision, because I feel like when it comes to a lot of things, a lot of people only pre short-term. You can't pre short-term, you have to pre long-term. And even though the system design the thing and all of these equity firms, design the thing for them control the market, spiral the prices, you still have a thing we call win-win and a thing called lose-lose, and you always are going to lose if you don't put a plan aside. So may I say, because the next thing a lot of people are pre them pre about down payment, but a lot of people not even pre closing costs. You know? So you see, the knowledge of assets like of assets like owning property, a lot of people need to educate themselves on, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons why all of these equity firms themselves rise the prices and buy up these things, because they realize that the education is lacking, the ignorance is lacking for a lot of these people. So when time them control the market now, them spread the education itself, and the education will come to you is a misinformation. You see what I say?
I just want to touch on what you said about Brooklyn. And I heard a lot of people use that example, Fire. But we got to remember the only reason that happened was because of gentrification, right? A lot of these areas.
Going across America, no.
I know, but you have a lot of areas that will never be gentrified. And I think the strategy they're using right now is slumming, in the sense that we're going to control a particular area that they're not going to build up. Because remember, some of these areas, investors are not going to come in. Brooklyn's a unique place. Certain main cities like Baltimore and all that, right? But a lot of places they're buying up. It's just some little neighborhood communities. But I think the hustle is restricting access to homes. You can't get a mortgage, right? And if you can't get the mortgage, you have to live somewhere. So you have to rent. And if you have to rent, you're going to rent with me. And I dictate the prices, and there's nowhere else to go. I think because if they're manufacturing the rise of the price, I don't think they're going into it in the sense that to profit from selling the house. I think it's a long-term game in regards to exploiting people through rent. You know, I just want to clear.
That's why I use Brooklyn as the example, you know, because you realize home ownership decreased drastically in Brooklyn. Even so, with the whole gentrification, home ownership decreased drastically. I don't remember the percentage. Should I read a couple articles couple months forward? But that's why I use the prime example. It's not that the people are going to necessarily just buy a house and benefit from it, and it's going to rise to 100% and you sell it back. But we are talking about these towards the same firm, them, because them buy up the property them in a Bed-Stuy and all of these places, Williamsburg and all of these places, Bushwick, you know. And them do that. See, if you realize now, a lot of these places, the rent increase crazy because there's no rent control, and yet still them when them buy up all of the property them, yes, then you start to the home ownership at decrease now, because which average man can go buy a property now for $1 million living in a city like that? And then you check out in a place like Baltimore now, where poverty so rampant in a places like these. Can really, no matter how the home prices might be right now, if them buy up these houses and control the thing now and then shoot up the price. Imagine when the prices are shoot up, them people already poor already, you know, they sell it and suffer from so much different things, you know, them drugs, them have a epidemic where take place with drugs, them have so much different problems, where homelessness especially. You see me I say? Already I suffer from homelessness for the most part, and then when the man them spiral up the prices now, it make the thing worse. So when time you know, I feel like all of these things trickle down to in a fire. I feel like them set a manner where I buy this thing and them property and I spiral up the price them. But feel like them indirectly, it could be direct too, contribute to a lot of different illness where take place in a fire, mental illness, a lot of whole heap of different traumas where take place. I feel like them contribute to it too.
No, serious thing, Fire. And last thing I want to do is just add on to what you just said. We as a society do not acknowledge the impact on not having stable housing on your health, on your mental health, on all aspects of your life, because people not only need a safe place to stay, but they need a stable place to stay. The constant pressure of not knowing where you're gonna lay your head, or the inability to pay your rent, you know, is crippling. And not just to the mental health of the people, but to the family structure. You know, kids can't perform in school. Everything's thrown off. And I'm not trying to look for a utopia, but things can definitely be implemented to kind of ease off the pressure on people on housing. I'm not saying every person needs a McMansion, but people need a safe place to stay. And if the housing is kind of taken care of, other things would balance out a little more if they didn't have that stress. But right now, it seems like the stress is just going to rise even more. Homelessness is on the rise in America. It's going to rise even more, fire, because this thing out of hand. The thing out of hand, and it's just that, man. Fire. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like everything illegal, legal. Because what these people do is really crime. Like the Step and Razor said, everybody talk about crime, but who's really the criminal? And what the contradiction is, the same publication that will demonize a person for crime praises another person who's doing an even worse crime. Me robbing somebody's car.
About this law business.
Yeah, me stealing somebody's car probably shouldn't be on the front page of the paper. We understand the links and who control the paper, and we know that part. But it's just like we as individuals now need to keep our eyes open and watch who we're praising. Because a lot of times we're praising criminals, fire. That's the destructive force in earth and causing so much pain, trauma for profit. So I'm not sure if you want to add anything else, but that's all I have to say on the topic, tell you the truth.
It's a small touch. So I say that's a small touch on that, because you have to realize, I think people overstand the implications of a capitalistic society. If I like a capitalistic society, the morals not there, it's just everything is based on the concept of legality. We did reason about that recently. Once it's legal and a man make money, it no matter if what him do cause a whole heap of pain or cause a whole heap of trauma, cause a whole heap of people to become less of human beings. As long as him make money, them can show him on the front of Forbes magazine, them can show him on the front of all of this and show us the wealth is there. Them not care how much people it destabilize, how much people it throw out of them homes, and how much people can pay rent. Them not really care about that systematically. Them care about how we can highlight the American dream is working. How we highlight the American dream is working when all of these equity firms buy up the properties, them become richer and richer, control all of these environment, them profit deal. And then we can say, all right, see, there's another successful example of what the American dream is. So,
our reality meds and people, we got to take responsibility, because a lot of time is spent on consuming media. And I'm not knocking one, entertaining yourself for doing whatever you're doing, but you need to take a little time to figure out what's going on in the real world. And so you can have a better strategy how to get through, because the ignorance thing is not bliss, and our addiction to entertainment is really, really, really destroying us. The world is moving, right? A lot of laws are being implemented, a lot of things are changing, and people just like blowing in the wind on social media, taking pictures. Like you have to be responsible for yourself, and education is a constant thing. You can't say I went to school. Things are always evolving, things are changing, so you need to stay up to date. Yeah, you can't know everything, but do your best to stay informed on certain things so you can make better decisions to protect yourself out here, especially when it comes to your finances. We need more financial literacy, right? People need to understand what's going on to make better decisions, to minimize your exploitation and minimize your pain. A lot of people stressed out because they finances, but when you actually talk to them, they just generally don't know what's going on. All they know is to work, spend their check, party, and just do whatever they can to meet the societal norms or the cultural norms of the subgroup that they're in, and try to impress people. That is financial literacy to most people. Fight, work, spend your check. Yo, I don't want to stretch out the reason, but some people feel they have to spend all their money.
Yeah, them have to do something with it.
You get what I'm saying? They literally have to spend all their money. But so the thing go, fire. Hey, we give thanks for everyone tuning in. We truly appreciate it. Make sure you check us out at Conscious Tea. We have some nice apparel there. Also, Autarchii the Dread EP, Disrupting the Status Quo. The link there is in the description. And I recommend you check out I have a bunch of favorite tunes. Not biased. I really listen to it, but I will go Rise with the Sun, Many Rivers, and Escaping by the Night. Escaping by the Night, kick tell you the truth. That song growing up. I was on Many Rivers, but Escaping by the Night really carrying the power. So, and do remember June 25th, free concert there in Baltimore. We will be out there. So make sure you pass through, tell a friend. What a vibe. Believe me, you don't want to miss. All right.
Well, let me hear you say mountain, mountain.